Today on The Educators, it's our first show back together of the season, and we're welcoming our new host, Shelby Vaughn. And we're welcoming me back on the show after taking a leave of absence. We're all diving into the topics everyone's talking about: masks in schools and critical race theory. Plus, a high school student rebels against a teacher for not trying in front of his whole classmates on social media that has been viewed 5.2 million on YouTube, and you don't want to miss what we have to say about it. So, let's talk education. The Educators with Coach Darnell Jerome, Shelby Vaughn, Andrew Frey, and me, Damian Anderson. The Educator starts now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Educators. We are so excited to be back with you guys, and we are kicking off our 7th season. Can't you guys believe it? Andrew and Coach D, we are in our 7th season so far. So how are you guys feeling about that? Start with you, Andrew, who first created this show in the first place. So how do you feel?
We're just getting started. We did 6 seasons in. We're just getting started. Our work is not done yet. This is just only the beginning, which is the beginning of the end. So hopefully we got some more work to be done until it is finished. And once we are finished, then we are finished. But until that, we got some more work to do.
Agree on that. So, to make this all even better, you guys, we have a brand new co-host joining our family, you guys. This person is an educator in Colorado, a wife, a mom who loves her students so very much every single day. So everyone, welcome on to our show, Miss Shelby Vaughn. Welcome, Miss Shelby. How are you doing?
Thank you. That was quite an introduction. I don't think I've ever felt that loved by an intro before. Thank you so much. I'm good. It's a good day. I don't work Fridays. Like, my school district doesn't do Fridays. So I love, it's the middle of my weekend. I'm doing well.
That is fantastic. So before we get started here, why don't you tell our viewers who you are?
Yeah, my name is Shelby Vaughn. I'm on Instagram at Laughter and Literacy, and I teach 7th grade at a kind of a suburban rural school. I would say we're about, 50% free and reduced lunch. So kind of a mix of socioeconomic statuses. I teach language arts, and then we call it language arts enrichment, but it's basically a reading class, which is awesome. So I actually cut the number of students I see per day in half, but I see them twice a day, and that's pretty awesome. So that's what I do. I have a master's in literacy. So I love pairing kids with books. It's like my special skill. I could do it all day. I wish I could just have like a booth and kids could come tell me about themselves and I just hand them a book. I love working with kids that don't know they like reading yet, that think they hate it, and giving them a book that's more up their alley. And I am almost done. I'll be done in May with my second master's to be an administrator someday. So no big plans to move just yet. No big pathways planned, but it's on the horizon someday.
Yes. So let's hop right into today's show, you guys, shall we? So let's get started with our very first topic. And I know me and Andrew, we had did a previous episode of this together, but we want to hear your guys' thoughts on this since it's, heating up these schools right now, which is mask mandates in our school. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? I start with you, Coach D. What do you think about that mask in our schools?
For me, in a way, it's like people take it out of content. I mean, as I stated before, I feel as if our kids should be safe. We should abide by making sure that we wear a mask so that our kids can be safe, because we have a lot of parents who send their children to school knowing that they have COVID, right? So it endangers the whole classroom. My thing is, you can lie and say you've been vaccinated when you know you haven't. And so it gives them a scapegoat to say, hey, I don't have to wear a mask because I've been vaccinated. And then they ask you for the proof. And then anybody can get a card, especially if you don't have the sticker on there with your name. People can just peel that sticker off and they can just sign it as if to say, they got the dose. My thing is simply, why argue? Let it take its course, because it's going to come a time where everything is going to get back together. I told Andrew this. Let's just stop being negative when it comes to this whole mask thing, and just let things come back like it was, and just stop putting people in this mindset of things will never get back to how it was. If we just abide by what we need to do, then everything will get back to where it needs to be. So just wear the mask. Just wear the mask. It's not that hard. It's not like you're gonna die, And like I told you before, they're saying that it's child neglect. And how are you neglecting the child? Because they have a mask on. So basically, what you're saying is you would rather put another child in harm's way because you don't like your child wearing a mask. Well, keep them home and work from home. If you don't want your child wearing a mask, then work from home, because most of these parents feel as though I'm just going to push my child out because I have to work. And so I know they have COVID, right? But I'm going to push them out anyway. I'm going to put it on the school. And then they're going to call me and basically tell me that my child has COVID, which we already knew. So when we say wear a mask, now we want to, go to the school board and make it seem like, hey, that's child neglect. That's child abuse. My child is not going to wear a mask, but you do realize you're endangering 15, 12 other students. So I'm not really with the whole hoorah about it. Just like I'm saying, just wear your mask and stop putting people in danger because you want to be ignorant and you just feel as though like it's going to be beneficial when it's really not. So that's my whole take on it.
And let me add something on top of that as well, because, it's not that hard, just to wear a mask. That's all there is to it. I mean, not only you're protecting the safety of yourself, but also others, as well as your students. And I don't see, even for vaccinated people as well, I don't understand why parents are angry because their child has to wear a mask. Oh, it's hard for them to breathe. But get a breathable mask. It's simple as that. Go to the store, go to Walmart, or go to a convenience store and find a breathable mask. There's no excuse. Really, there's no excuse to say, oh, my child will not wear this mask. Okay, if your child does not want to wear a mask, you can take them to Virtual Academy. They can stay at home and do Virtual Academy,
which is also free. That's not even a socioeconomic issue or boundary. It is also free.
Okay. They can make lunch at home. So I don't understand why parents are getting upset, angry, and stuff like that because their child does not want to wear a mask. So if your child does not want to wear a mask and I got COVID, don't say nothing. Because it's still there. It's still here. It's real. It's not going away no time soon. But we're taking steps to prevent it so that other people doesn't have COVID.
Ms. Shelby, what's with you? What's your take on all of this?
So my school, and trust me, I have talked with my students about where to lay blame. We had a long talk with the dry erase board graph. My school board, not necessarily my school board did not choose to make us wear masks in the beginning. Then 2.5 weeks into school, the health department made a mandate that we had to wear masks. And I think that did cause a lot of tension because all the kids had already gotten to go to school without a mask. They had already experienced it. They had already had a routine. And then all of a sudden on a Thursday night or Friday, I think it was on a Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, we got told that on Monday they would be, well, first we were told they didn't know when they'd be requiring it. So we were told, yes, you'll have to wear a mask. No, we don't know when. We'll get back with more information. And then we were told it would start on Monday. Not every, like the whole area I work in isn't anti-mask, but they're definitely the loudest, if that makes sense. So Facebook blew up. There were threats of protests at my school. My anxiety was so high on Monday. Like I just called my parents on the way to work and I was so scared, and there was nothing. It was so calm. The kids did great. They didn't even act a fool because they've done it before now. I understand at the beginning it was new. I would say for me, because I am very pro-mask, pro-vaccine, like admittedly, the lack of logic with a lot of our, what's it called? Like the way we do things stresses me out because it's not always logical. So I don't mind wearing a mask, especially I love what Andrew was saying. I get mine from Old Navy. They're adjustable. It's not like whenever you couldn't get good fitting masks in the very beginning of all this and people were wearing bandanas and stressed out. Like now you can find a brand and a fabric and a style that works for you. They're not super expensive. You can make it work. But I struggle with, we all have to wear masks at school, but the way we do breakfast at all the schools, not just mine, by the way, but we have breakfast in our rooms. So they all take them off to eat. Does COVID say no, it's breakfast time? Y'all go on and eat your honey buns. We'll be back. Like that stresses me out. Just for the kids and their safety, it stresses me out. I understand that we're trying to have a middle ground, but also the fact that we're requiring to wear the masks, I feel like then we should be more safe. You know, we're not really social distancing. We're doing our best, but due to funding and how many kids we have in a school, that's not really a thing. I remember at the beginning of this, my husband's a physician, so a lot of our friends are physicians, and they were very big into like, well, just go to school and separate them. And I just had to laugh and be like, oh, we should talk. We should really talk about how many kids are in a classroom, how big a classroom is, what you've been told schools are able to do, because you seem to have this very simplistic idea of how it's going to work. Or your kids go to a private or charter or magnet school where they have smaller classes, which is awesome. But that means your child is able to be safe at school and my kids are not. And so just because you think something is a certain way, it's not.
Yeah, just do what's best. Parents, do what's best for you and your children. Just do what's best for you, okay? We're trying to keep, everyone safe around us. So I'm with, because I don't know if you know this, Miss Shelby, but they know, Andrew and Coach D, that I'm the only one who is not vaccinated. Because here's why. Because I'm just like, with me, I'm sorry, I still do not feel safe of getting that vaccine. I'm sorry, I just don't. Because with me, and I'll talk with Andrew about this, like, and then also with my sister, that I want to see actual people like me on TV getting the vaccine. How does it, I want to see that, because because I had COVID and I do not want to have that again, because when I had it the first time, it was worse. And if I get it the second time, who knows, because I may not be feeling the exact same way. I may end up in a hospital, or who knows. So I'm just waiting patiently of trying to get that vaccine. But now I'm just not safe. I'm just not. And that's how I feel. I mean, it's not.
Can I ask a gentle question?
Yes.
Like not a sassy one. Has your primary care provider sat down and talked to you? And then another gentle question, are they used to working with African-American males? Because I definitely understand that having a white doctor be like, oh, please get it. Also, that's not always the best information for someone to trust either. I hear that.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And they just they are not, pressuring me of, getting the vaccine. They're just just do what's best for you. And trust me, I wear my mask, I'm social distance around, some of my family members and when I go out. So I'm like very careful around it, but I'm just waiting like on the right time, because in my area, our cases are back up at the top. So I'm just sitting and just waiting patiently. I watch the news every single day, what's up. So I'm just, again, just waiting, and hopefully I will get that vaccine and all this will be over with. So on that note, we're gonna have to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with more of the educators right after this. And welcome back, you guys, to The Educators. So let's hop right in to our next topic, which is critical race theory. That has been the heated topic this school year. So let me hear your guys, thoughts, opinions on this heated discussion into our schools. Ms. Shelby, how are you tackling this with this critical race theory?
So I teach a lot of civil rights history and social justice throughout the world in my class. And I teach teachers, actually, I call it aftershocks, and how we can't just teach kids horrible history without giving them a week or so to do some project to feel like they're doing something, right? Because I totally understand. I work with middle school students. You can't just show them the horrors of the world and then be like, and by the way, all of your ancestors are horrible. You're probably horrible. Good luck. I definitely understand that. I don't think the public understands that critical race theory is more of a law school thing anyways. So really what they're mad at is people talking about civil rights history, talking about everybody having equal rights, because they still don't. And if you're mad about that, I can't help you, because we talk about that a lot in my class. That being said, I'm also really open. I don't teach in a super liberal area. I don't teach in a super diverse area. So we do post everything online, even though we teach in person. So everything to me is, come to me if you want to talk about what we're teaching. Come to me if you want to hear verbatim, word for word, what I've told your student. And I always allow students to form their own opinions. That's important to me too, that at the end of the day, it's not indoctrination, because you're allowed to think what you think. As I provide you facts, they're not distorted facts. You can fact check me at any time. You can ask me where I got them from at any time. I'm happy to show you unbiased websites. I just stay ready. I don't get a lot of pushback personally, but our town's Facebook page is popping all the time. You would think every teacher was indoctrinating all the kids. So I just stay ready with whatever they want from me. I'm here to have a conversation, here to be calm, here to explain what I said and what I allow students to say, because if they have differing opinions than me, I let them be said. I think that's important, because even if I strongly disagree, if you say something in a respectful way, or if you write it in your journal, especially, Okay. Okay.
Andrew, your take.
Kind of have to agree with Miss Shelby on that one. With my classroom, for the past couple of days, I need to figure out a way how to actually talk to coach think Friday. How it was one of those days where I'm about to lose my mind. And I just need to figure out a way to coach has already talked to coach about this, but I need to figure out a way how to control it. Because I shouldn't have to tell the students every single time, hey, stop talking and do your work. Even the teacher that I was subbing for via Google Meet even told them to stop talking and do their work. And it's kind of like repetitive, and it's like it shouldn't have to be that way, because we're the subject that I'm teaching that we're on A/B schedule. So like for instance, Monday will be A day. So I have A day students, and then tomorrow will be B day. So I'll have students from science come over, kind of do a little switch swap. But there are some days where I just need a break because of the behavior. Their behavior needs to stop. It's like, I know I'm just a sub. I know I'm a 21-year-old, about to be 22, a 21-year-old substitute teacher. But y'all gotta put a respect on my name, because I'm here. Just because your teacher is not here, just because your teacher is not here real time, but she can see you virtually, really? And should have to tell you 50-11 times to tell you to stop talking? Like, come on now. It should be a one-time thing. Hey, go sit down, do your work. Yes, sir. Okay, let's get on it. Not just stop talking, do your work. It shouldn't have to be like that. It shouldn't have to be. So I just need to figure out a way how to control it. And I need to figure out a way how to get them to stop talking and do their work. Because honestly, and let's be real here, I don't like writing people up. I really don't, because I give them second chances. But when it gets to that point, then I'm gonna have to write them up, because I shouldn't have to tell them 50 times. I shouldn't have to.
Okay. So you guys, we're going to take a quick break real quick, and then we're going to come back to hear Coach D's thoughts and also my thoughts. So you guys stay right there. We'll be right back. And welcome back, you guys, to The Educators. So let's hop right into it. You guys, Miss Shelby had to leave because she is taking care of her baby right now, but she will be back very shortly. So let's hop right back into the topic of critical race theory. Coach, your thoughts on all of this into our schools?
I don't know where do you start? I mean, nothing has really changed, if that makes sense. We're still in a slavery type of mentality when it comes to how we teach our kids, what we teach our kids. I don't know if you really paid attention to the news, how Texas took away Martin Luther King out of the history books and things like that, because they don't want to understand the truth of what it meant to be equal. That doesn't matter what your race is, but yet you take it out because you just want to pretty much stick with, what type of history. I'm not going to really make a big deal about it, but at the end of the day, I really feel as though our Black kids are still getting scrutinized out of knowing who they are. And I'm not going to bite my tongue and hold back from saying it because it's true. We're in the state of emergency. We are. I'm not a racist person. I never have been. I have great colleagues that were white, Puerto Rican, and it didn't matter. But our Black and brown kids are getting cheated. And it's starting to show. Nobody's saying anything, and they're just letting this stuff continuously go. So at the end of the day, I feel it's time that we either speak up or our kids are going to miss out on the importance of where they come from, who they are. Because at the end of the day, why can't we come together? And I've talked to Andrew about this. I've talked to Damien about this. My question is, what's the issue? Why? Why are we still going through this? And, just like Miss Shelby said, she speaks on civil rights and things of that nature. And if you got a problem with it, come talk to me and we'll discuss the issue. But I mean, when are we as African Americans going to step up and say, all right, it's time that we get everybody's history back in the classroom? Was it treacherous? Yeah, it was very treacherous. It was very treacherous. All right. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that what we fought for is why we're here today, right? There's three African-American males and a white female on this show, and we're getting along great. And if we can get along great and we don't have a negative mindset and an ignorant mindset, then why can't these schools and these counties have the same mindset? Why they continue to push us out? Make sense? Because at the end of the day, you got some Black teachers out there that are really scared to speak and teach these kids about who they are. So that's
crazy. So on my Instagram, I mean, I only have like 1,000 followers. I'm not super popular. I'm not viral. I'm not any of that. But I speak out often, and I've received 0 hate messages, period. Like 0 DMs that are negative. And I cannot even come close to saying that for anybody else of color. And I don't think that's fair either. Why? I should not be the speaker of a people group I'm not a part of. Like, I should speak up and use my voice and show off resources. Absolutely. But like, that's privilege too. The fact that I can talk all the time about how we talk about race and culture in my classroom, and anybody, even with the same follower count that I do, that speaks up, that is a person of color, automatically gets 10 hateful DMs within 2 minutes. That's not fair either. I'll get off my soapbox now, guys. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I say it like this. As you two young men continue to move up in the world of education, because just like I told Andrew, what I tell you yesterday, Andrew, you don't let nobody run you away from something that you love to do. I don't care what their opinion is. You don't tell nobody, you don't let nobody take you away from the world of education. But to keep it 100 with you, Miss Shelby, and and for the world to hear, y'all are persecuting the art of teaching in the Black American experience. Y'all are persecuting it. Y'all are. And y'all going back to Jim Crow laws because we have to hush and we can't speak on things. Because
y'all being white people, y'all being teachers, y'all being white teachers. Or all of it. I just want to know.
Just in general.
Just like society.
Yeah, just like society.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. They're persecuting the art of what it means to be a Black American. As a teacher, as a student, it doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, you're right, Miss Shelby. You shouldn't have to voice your opinion on something, but at the end of the day, you're still my sister. I don't care. You understand what I'm saying? But it's funny how you can say exactly what I'm saying and everything is all good, but then as soon as I say it, you're trying to get things started. You're trying to stir up the pot. Mm-hmm. How? Because I'm fighting for my kids.
Well, and what happens whenever, sorry, I have a pacifier in my hand.
No, you're fine.
What happens whenever our kids realize that they come from places of power and that they deserve power, right? Because if all we teach them is, oh, you were so downtrodden and you came over here and it was bad, but you also got a better life, which I have heard people talk on, like absolutely that coming to America was better for people. Absolutely not. And if we don't teach our students of color about their specific history and where their power came from, then they can't claim power now because they've always been oppressed. They've always been downtrodden. And isn't that so sad? That's just how it is. But if we teach them that their ancestors were somebody, that they are worth being somebody, then we as like the privileged race and culture are giving away power, and people don't want that.
We got to draw a line somewhere. All right, we got to really draw a line. And we got to put a narrative between that, because people aren't connecting the dots like they need to. They still think we're rebellious. They think we're rebellious because we want to speak up. They think we're rebellious because we want to make sure we teach our children how to read, how to do math. They think we're rebellious because we want to teach our children real history. They think we're rebellious because we want to stand up for who we are. But yet, nobody's talking. But everybody's for the cause. This is a big issue right here. Everybody's for the cause, right? Like everybody was in the cause for the mask. And now all of a sudden, nobody's in the cause for the mask no more because it's rebellious because you're hurting the children. You're neglecting them. So then that means we're rebellious in the classroom because we want to see our kids succeed. I don't care what color you are. We want to see all our children succeed, right? But what is the percentage of our Black African-American children making it in life? Oh, that percentage is real low. And so when we speak up, it's a problem between me, Andrew, and Damien, right? But if Miss Shelby or somebody else speak up, yeah.
Oh, they were for the cause with those black squares too on Instagram. They sure were.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Damon. I'm sorry, man. You know how I get when we talk about this, man. I ain't trying to stir up time.
No. You're all good. You're all good. This is a very, important conversation to have, and it's just so you guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back and continue on discussing. So we'll be right back right after this. Love watching The Educators? You could be a part of our conversation too. The Educators is active on social media. Like us on Facebook by searching The Educators and be a part of our conversation by telling us what you think. Follow us on Instagram at The Educators Show for behind the scenes content of our show. And follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our show and the world. You keep the conversation going, so get social with your friends now. Like, comment, and connect with us on The Educators.
And what's crazy, Miss Shelby? Like, they got this tradition, this whole teachers tradition thing. They still got it marked by racist condemnation, and it's like blacks repeat acts of escape and rebellion. Like, what are we escaping from? What do we escape? We're free. We've been free. So how are we being rebellious? Because we want to be better people? We're not bad people. I'm sorry that I can't walk in my neighborhood with a hoodie on and you just assume I don't stay there anymore. I was in Orlando when that mess happened with Trayvon Martin. You can't assume somebody's doing something and they stay right there. Why we can't stay in nice neighborhoods? Or why can't whatever, with the George Floyd situation? Really? You know how many people and the man that was selling the CD, I can't think, man, but you know how many people do that? You know how many black people that ran in suburb neighborhoods and it was fine? Then all of a sudden we want to follow this guy for no reason and we want to shoot an undeadly harm person, but we're the problem. I don't care about politics, but I'm not lying when I say this, Michelle. Had we riot the Capitol, how many funerals would have been that day? If we would have did that, if we would have rioted the Capitol, how many funerals would have been going on? That's all I'm saying. I ain't got no problem. If you voted for Trump, cool. I don't go back and forth with that. But let's be honest. When we protest, we get tear gas, and we talk about peaceful protests.
Even appropriate protests, yes, Coach, yes.
We're talking about peaceful protests,
yes.
But yet we still get treated like animals.
But that's reflected in our school system too, because we have, and I feel like I can say it. I've worked there. I feel like I can say it. If I can't, I will take direction from any one of you and I will shut up. We have these timid white savior teachers going into schools with cultures they don't understand. And if you think a black culture, which obviously there are black introverts, that's not what I'm saying. But if you go into a culture that is a loud culture and you see that as non-compliance, that's on you. That's your fault. That is not kids' fault. That is not a culture's fault. That's the school system's fault for hiring you. And we hire these Teach for America kids. I could not even I was a sorority president in college and I could not even get into Teach for America. It is so competitive. Everyone wants to do it. You have to be the shiniest, brightest coin in the jar in order to get into Teach America, to go work in a school of underserved kids where you feel like you're a savior as you do it before you go to law school or get your MBA. And then you don't even understand the cultures you're working with. Sorry, I'll shut up now, guys. You can also tell me shut up anytime. I take direction very well, y'all. I really do.
No, it's not even about telling you to shut up. I told Damien and Andrew this on one show. I said, it's funny how teachers never want to leave the suburbs. Remember I told y'all that? They never want to leave the suburbs to come to the other side of town. You ever notice when a person of my statue, Damien's statue, we come from privileged families. You understand, Andrew? We come from, but as soon as we go over to the suburbs, all our positions are full. Oh, that's that's funny. Because I just had an interview with the principal and he literally just told me I was hired. No. We're full. Because they don't want us over there because let's just be honest. My school's an A school, and I feel if you come over here, you might bring the grade down because you don't know how to teach our kids. Well, Coach went to a private school, and I only went there for sports because I'm the black athlete, but not knowing that Coach graduated 3.8 from high school. But I was the black athlete. No, I was a student athlete. You understand what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, Damien is a good student. Andrew is a good student. We might come from the suburbs as black African-American males, but we still got friends that come from the low poverty areas. We don't look down on them.
No, we don't. Mm-mm.
Anybody that's came on this show, we've never looked down on anybody. It's only our race, Miss Shelby. It's only our race who look down on each other. And why? And then they take that same energy and they take it into school. All right. You understand what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna make it anyway because I'm from the hood. So I ain't gonna make it anyway. I'm just get my degree and then I'm gonna work at McDonald's all my life. Well, it's okay. Because if you're smart and got your own franchise, you make money. But we don't teach our kids that.
But I bet they want you when it comes to discipline.
Oh, hell yeah, they want us when we come to discipline. Yes, they do.
Yep.
Ain't that right, Mr. Damien, Mr. Andrew? Oh, I can't handle such and such down the hallway. No, bro, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher too. I got my class where they need to be. I'm not gonna stop what I'm doing. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Shelby. That's right, y'all. PD, professional development on classroom management. You've been there how long and you still don't know how to run your classroom? We only been in the game for four or 5 years, a year, yet you've been there for 30 years and you still don't know how to do classroom management? Don't get us started.
But they claim it's because the school changed, meaning that used to be a suburban, predominantly white school. At least that's the school I started out in Oklahoma. Used to be top school. Everybody was so proud to have gone to that school. They redistricted, brought in kids that lived nowhere near there. And the teachers that had been there for 20 plus years didn't learn about their culture. That's on them. I'm sorry, Google is free. Google is absolutely free. And then all of a sudden it was, I just can't handle these kids. I need you to come deal with them.
But you was there for how many years?
So I was at my old school for 5 years and now I've been at my school for 5 years. Or four and a half, because I moved, my husband had residency. So I moved, he graduated residency last summer, not this past one, but the one before that. So we had to move medical residency. The best way I know how to explain it, it's a lot like the military in the sense that they just tell you where you're going. Like you interview and you give a rank list, but no one cares. They tell you where you're going. They vote and they decide. So we ended up here. And we like it here. But yeah, why would you even need my help with your kids? I'm over here, a first year teacher trying to bond with kids. I don't need to come be mean in your room.
Right. Don't send them down to Mr. Fret's class.
David, come on, man.
Because we're gonna do. I want us to do like an entire episode of that because I just have. Okay, let's get right back into it. Welcome back, you guys, to The Educators. Let's hop right back into it. Now, I don't know if you guys, to our viewers, saw this video because I think this quite went viral of where this student, he like stood up for himself and his classmates of a teacher who was not doing, their job correctly. So I just want to, have you guys seen the video of that student who like stood up for himself in front of his class and his classmates and that teacher of not, doing their job correctly?
If you would just get up and teach them instead of handing them a freaking packet, yo. There's kids in here who don't learn like that.
Bye.
They need to learn face to face.
Bye.
You're just getting mad because I'm pointing out the obvious and
No,
you're too
because you're
late.
wasting my time.
No, I'm not wasting your time. I'm telling you what you need to do.
Get out.
You want kids to come into your class, you want them to get excited
come
for
to
this,
me when
you gotta
they
come in
get
here, you
involved.
gotta make them excited. You want a kid to
Yeah.
change and start
Right.
doing better, you gotta touch his freaking heart. Can't expect a kid to change if all you do is just tell him. You gotta take this job serious. This is the future of this nation. And when you come in here, like you did last time, and make a statement about, oh, this is my paycheck, indeed it is. But this is my country's future and my
I
education.
respect that. Can you go outside, please?
Square
I
biz.
got things
But there's
to
a
do.
limit. When I'm not bitching, but simply making an observation.
Okay, okay.
And now I will leave.
I have. And let me just say, once I saw that video, I immediately went to the comment section, and a lot of people are praising him for doing that.
Yes.
And and I praise him too, because if you're just, we say this time and time again, if you're just there for the money and you're not here for the kids, why are you even here? Realize
You don't get paid enough.
Realize in the video, she kept on saying, okay, can you please sleep? Can you please sleep? Because what he's telling her is true, and she doesn't want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And that's what she's scared of.
Mm-hmm.
She's scared of the truth. That's why she wanted him to leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Coach, what did you think of it?
I mean, he said it. If you really, you know what I'm saying, stop being lazy and actually teach us, you actually know what we got going on here. He said it. I heard him. So it goes back to what Mom Dukes had said when she came on the show. Don't come in our profession if you don't want to be here.
Exactly.
You sitting your lazy behind the desk doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
And you knew he was telling the truth, because all you could say was, okay, get out. No.
Get out.
No.
Yeah.
You know who should have saw that? That principal should have saw that. See, now I'm gonna make a real executive decision. Get out. Because you don't want to be here. Let me give this class to somebody who really wants to be here. If you don't want to be a teacher, do not come in the profession. It's not just education. If you don't want to be a fireman, if you want to be a police, if you're not going to do the right things in the profession, leave.
Mhm.
By all means. Just like Ms. Shelby said, Google is free, and you start your own school is free too. So if you want to be a lazy teacher and start your own school to be lazy all day, then by all means, player, go ahead and name it Lazy High School. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to be doing all day. You're going to be seeing your lazy behind there doing absolutely nothing.
Mhm. And you're supposed to be here for the kids, but you ain't doing nothing
Quotes.
about it.
Put it in air quotes.
Yeah.
Put it in air quotes, because she wasn't there for them children. She wasn't. And I commend that young man. And I commend everybody else in that classroom.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm kind of like, yes, I am on his side. Absolutely. Then on the other, I'm called like, no. So on the yes part, he stood up for himself. Yes, because I actually experienced this with one of my teachers where, they don't teach, in front of the class. They just sit back by their desk, chilling, doing whatever. And like with me, I'm just like, it's like you guys just said, like, don't come into this profession if you're not passionate about it, about teaching your students. I mean, I don't understand teachers like that who goes into work every single day and does not want to be there for the kids. Like, if you don't want to be here, you're wasting my time. I'm sorry. You are wasting my time as a teacher who is supposed to teach me. So if you don't want to go to profession, get out, because I don't need you there. We don't need you here. Sorry.
Right.
So,
Right. And
yeah. So, and then I'm quite like, no, because well, as I have seen it, to me, that was quite a little bit disrespectful of because like with me, he could have did it, I don't know, privately with that teacher in a professional kind of way instead of doing it in front of the class. But I am absolutely on his side right there. Seriously, that stand and that is what I have been preaching onto the show all along is our students' voice. They have a voice. Let them use it. They see everything that we are doing inside of our schools. We see everything. Me and Andrew, it wasn't that long ago. We've been in school. We've seen everything that happens. Everything. So teachers need to really pay attention of what they are doing inside their schools. That's just me. So anybody else?
As they should,
Yeah.
as they should. And next year, you're going to hear protests outside of school. You're going to hear, oh, this person is leaving. I wonder why. Because they're not doing their job. They're not here for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
If your
And
heart
that-
is not into it, why are you even there?
Exactly.
Oh, I got a bachelor's degree in history. Okay, you can do something else with that degree.
Oh, you
Why
sure
you
can.
here?
Yeah, you can do a whole lot with a history
Why you
thing.
here?
You can do
write a
something
book.
else more profitable.
Yeah. And Damien made a point about something. I'm glad you said that, Damien. You said he could have talked to that teacher privately, right? Well, guess what? That's the same thing that goes for teachers. Why are we always trying to expose our children all out loud in front of all the other students when we can privately say, hey, meet me after class because I need to talk to you? So you're right. It goes both ways. You understand what I'm saying? It goes both ways. But as some of our 30-year plus teachers always want to feel like they need to expose a child in front of other people. Okay. And watch how that behavior is going to continue to be now, because now you done triggered something. You done triggered them or her. And they're going to be disrespectful for the rest of the school year because you decided it was okay to embarrass me in front of everybody. Instead of just being a teacher that you need to be and say, hey, let me talk to you outside for a second.
And
So
if we embarrass them, how can we expect them to not want to embarrass other kids? That doesn't make sense either, to embarrass them and then be like, by the way, now you have a referral.
This is good. I'm about to cry in a good way, not in a bad way. But this is good because I've been holding. Let's go, D. Let's go, babe. I know we're on the time schedule, man.
Yes. So you guys, we're going to take a break, but we will be right back with our season 7 premiere of The Educators. So we will be right back. Love watching The Educators? You could be a part of our conversation too. The Educators is active on social media. Like us on Facebook by searching The Educators and be a part of our conversation by telling us what you think. Follow us on Instagram at The Educators Show for behind the scenes content of our show. And follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our show and the world. You keep the conversation going, so get social with your friends now. Like, comment, and connect with us on The Educators. Welcome back, everyone, to The Educators. So what a great show we had on today. We had a great conversation. And I cannot wait to many more with all of you guys and to also with Miss Shelby. So any last thoughts from you guys before we wrap up on today to leave off with our viewers at home?
Yeah, if you're into reading, this book I'm reading right here, you might want to get a copy of this book, because this book is really stating everything that we just talked about. All right, and it's called Fugitive Pedagogy by Carter G. Woodson and the Art of Black Teaching. So it's definitely a good book, and the ratings are great. So yeah, we're doing a book study on this through TQRP. So that's how the book came in the mail, Andrew. Remember I told you I didn't know why this book came?
Mhm.
They paid for the book for us. So in my Black male educators group, we're doing a book study.
Okay.
Andrew, you want to leave off something with our viewers on today?
No, I don't have anything for this.
So
Got something.
go ahead, Coach.
Don't be afraid of who you are. Be in love with yourself and be in love with the job that you do in the profession of education.
I love that. I love that right there. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we're going to see you guys.
Oh.
Yeah,
I do.
yes,
I do.
Make this quick,
got
Coach.
accepted into my doctoral. I got accepted into my doctoral education, so I'm doing my PhD.
PhD. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, Dr. Coach.
Yes. Sir.
All right, Damon.
It was all jokes from the beginning. Now it's game time.
Yeah. So we will see you guys next time on a new episode of The Educator. So take care of yourself, be blessed, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out.